Friends, how many of us have them? Some of us need new friends. We need new friends. We need a new tribe. You know what I mean? Feel all the jealousy, envy, negativity, things of that nature. We need new friends. We need new friends, right? Let's talk about it. Hey, this is Deanna with Inspired Perspectives, and welcome to my channel. And today we're talking about seven reasons why you may need new friendships and what you need to look for, right? We're going to list all of these things to help you help yourself decide whether the friendship group that you whether the friendship group that you currently have. I seem to always have problems in my studio, my little makeshift studio. Bear with me. So, like we're gonna list them. We're gonna list like what you need to do to be able to have vetting process. So just a little bit of a vetting process to deciding your friendship, but you can also apply this to other ships, relationships, your friendships, family ties, because we can be kin, but we are not always on the same page with things. And it's personality clashes, things of that nature, business. But we're going to go ahead and list them. See, these are seven things we need to look at when we are deciding on friendships and what we need to when we need to change that circle of friends. You have an inner circle, of friends that may be one or two, maybe three max of just close friends that you can talk about anything to. um, you need those. You need those people you can rely upon. That's not necessarily family, but just people that maybe that are going in the same direction that you're going in, and sometimes maybe not. But then you have the same outlook on life. You aspire to doing more, or maybe you aspire to sit on the couch, but at least y'all sit on the couch together, okay? And no one is upset about that. But you want to make sure you have a list of things that you're looking for. You need to find your tribe, and you have your next layer of circle of your circle, right? It's the outer layer. Those are people you know they're good people, and so that anytime they can want somebody can move into the inner layer, into the inner, but they usually stay right there, and they're helpful and they're supportive and they're kind and they're moving and shaking in their own way, and it just may be just timing, seasons, things like that that don't really allow you to connect as much. But when you see them, you really actually have a good conversation with them. You have good connection with them. And then you have those outer circles. Those to me is like there's three layers of circles, right? The outer circle would be the associates, people and, they're nice, they're good people, but yeah, it's kind of a connection, kind of not a connection. Maybe that's proximity, maybe that's the personality. Some personality are different, personality differences, not complete different, but you know, you respect them, you respect who they are, and you never cross the line with that. And you can develop that however you choose, right? And so for me, that's kind of how I do it. It helps me to, in a way, compartmentalize. And I don't always like to compartmentalize some things, but with certain areas of my life, I like to, because I like to know who I'm dealing with and being able to know that I put them in those spaces. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So, number one is personal growth. You want to surround yourself with people who are personally growing. These are people who aspire to challenge themselves. They challenge you. They foster, personal development within themselves. So they don't mind learning about themselves and expanding their mind, getting centered, manifesting. They're maybe building a business, building their career, going to school, but they're constantly in the mode of developing themselves. They go within, excuse me, let me get something to drink here. They go within a lot so that they can stay on course for the journey. So they really are introspective. They're very reflective. They ask themselves questions. They ask you, what do you think? Look, what do you think about X, Y, Z, and the third, to see where your mind, and see if you have an expansive mind or a growth mindset versus a static mindset. These people are constantly challenging themselves and challenging the people around them, because iron sharpens iron. They need to know that people around them are going to support them. And these are the things that you need to look for regarding, you know, step one, personal development and growth. Number two is positive influence. Are they good people? Do they create a positive influence in their own lives? Therefore, they will be positive in your life. Again, we do attract all kinds, but we entertain people who are pretty much like us. So if you want to be, if you want to be able to, find your friend, find your tribe, you got to be what it is that you want to have in front of you, in friendship, relationship, family ties, or what have you. Everyone is not going to get along. Everyone is not going to be on the same page. Maybe it's different seasons, different reasons, all of these things. But we definitely want someone who will be a positive influence in the world, in the earth, in your community, and so forth. That means habits, the overall thinking, the overall well-being. All of these things will matter in the grand scheme of things as to why. Why are we friends? Why are we friends? What are we doing? It's got to be something more than, hey, I like pink with stripes. It's got to be something more, to your connection with these people. So you want to make sure they have a positive, they're positive influence in their life. They're positive mindset. They have a growth mindset. They have connections. They're working on their personal growth. You know, they're thriving, and they're not sitting waiting for the Amazon truck to come by, and hopefully that be the guy or the girl that I get to date. They're actually out there, you know, mm, touching grass. That means they're outside, they're connecting. So we need people who are in that realm. It's nothing wrong. If you like to be inside, that's fine. There's some people who don't like people like that. What do they call them? They're introverts. So it takes a lot for them to be out in the public all the time. So I'm more of an ambivert. So I have to retreat and recharge, but I do like people. So I'm a balance of the two. So when I get quiet, is usually when I need to just be by myself. So you have people who won't touch grass, and that's fine. Number three, you have dynamic, toxic dynamic. You want to make sure your current friendships are not marked with negativity, jealousy, envy, all of these things that really sabotage really potentially good relationships and friendships. Anyone that's coming in like a negative Nancy, you don't need them. You do not need them in your life. If you are a positive person, if you are someone who always looks at the glass as half full or completely full, of your cup runneth over, I'm the cup runneth over kind of chick. So I need people who around me, I want people around me who are positive, who are, expansive in their mind. They don't have a toxic dynamic. It's not, oh, woe with me, life sucks. That right there, what you speak out will manifest, because it's usually connected to a feeling somewhere. You're not speaking it out loud if you don't have a feeling. It's not just a random thought. It is definitely something you've been sitting on, and now you finally get to release it, and it's negative. So who wants that? So you want to have people who do not have a toxic dynamic. You want to be careful of that. You want to distance yourself away from those people as far as possible. These are people maybe dealing with some mental health issues. They may be depressed. They may be on something, medication, things of that nature. You do not know, but you need to find out, and you need to, and maybe seeking help that they become balanced again. But in the grand scheme of things, generally most people are dealing with stuff their life, and if this has been an ongoing for years upon years, this is their personality. They're always going to find a dark side to daylight. It's sunshiny, rainbows, and unicorns, and children playing, and everyone singing. It's all these great wonderful things that the Most High has given us, and they'll find the dark cloud on a sunny day. We don't need those people. Okay. Number four, you want to have aligned values. Your values and your priorities must align. You will have to find friends that share your current beliefs. I mean, unless you're like arguing all the time, unless you have someone who is completely argumentative about every subject matter, you need people who align with you with your values, even if they're separate religions or separate political. You find common ground even within that, and people like that you can vibe with. You don't have to agree on every single thing, but for the most part you guys vibe on so many other levels and you connect on so many levels that a lot of that stuff becomes a non-factor in your relationship and building your relationship and maintaining your relationship. But you want to find people who align with your values, your morals, your overall, just your basic silver lining of things like kindness and love and respect, and finding out what those things are. That's what you have to do, right? So, you know, listen, find those people who align. Find the ones that align with your values. It's nothing worse than having somebody that you're always in conflict with any subject matter, because they're like a tree. They will not be moved. They don't think outside of the box. They love living in that box and they think the world consists of being in that box. They don't know that they can actually draw outside the lines. I color outside the lines. That is me from birth. I'm going to color outside the lines. I'm not going to follow the crowd. I'm going to step out the crowd and see what's going on. I'm going left, right. I'm doing my own thing. You can do whatever you want to do. Sit there and wait. I'm doing my own thing. I have a growth mindset. I'm always looking for the avenue, the path least traveled, because I know something's got to be better than what we all been doing. Everybody's been doing, because this sounds crazy to me. But to have someone who has a growth mindset that is definitely on the path of expansion and align with my values. So find someone who aligns with your values and your morals and things of that nature. Less conflict, more growth, more thriving, more living, more smiling, more joy. Okay. Number five, you want to expand your horizons. And sometimes that means you need to move. You need to move. You need to move from the neighborhood that you've always lived in. You want to move maybe from to the next town, the next city, the next county, the next state, or the next country. It is okay. You, my dear, are not a tree. We none of us are trees. Some people have the mindset of a tree, but you are not a tree and I'm not a tree. So you can move. You have your permission to move. Understand me, you do. And so when you're able to do that, you will be able to find new friendships with people. Usually have a different mindset on different sides of town, because you're doing the same routine with the same stores, the same, places that you shop and all the same. It's the same. And the routine is the same. Sometimes you need to break out of your root that mundane routine that you've always, day in and day out. Some people know the route. I know certain routes like the back of my hand. And it's like, okay, it's time to make some moves. It's time to make some changes here. And I'll go a different route because I'm not trying to move yet. It's not time to move, but I know I will detour somewhere else or pivot somewhere else to go another route to see something else that's going on along my path. And that in turn sometimes allows for me, if I make a stop, to meet a new friend or at least connect with people, even if it doesn't go any further than a really decent conversation. So you want to be able to expand your horizons so you can enrich your life and broaden your understanding of the world. When you move into another country, like when you go vacation and all of that, when you move into another country, you broadening your horizons right there. The idea of moving to another country suits me because I have an expanded view of the world. I expand my horizon, so my view is expanded. And nothing wrong if you don't want to do that, but those of us who are on here on this channel are looking to expand our horizons. Your support system. Number six is your support system. You have to have a healthy support system in order to feel like you can do everything you want to do in this world. If you've had that support system early, if you don't have it later, you're actually okay. You're okay. It won't be as hard for you to continue on and create the kind of life you want to create because you've had such a solid support system early on that if you don't happen to have one now, you can clap for yourself. You're gonna have to cheer for yourself because sometimes this is the transition you may be under where you have to kind of pull yourself together and clap for yourself until you find your tribe, until you find the people who will support you and give you words of encouragement. Having that support system is A1. You have to first be your own support system because if you live in doubt, guess what? Nothing happens in doubt. So you first have to cheer for yourself. You first have to clap for yourself in order for you to see the things you want to see manifest, right? So never mind anyone else. Hopefully you can get a support system. If you have one from birth to now, or you picked up one in the halfway through the process of your journey, congratulations. Congratulations. My mother used to say, if you have at least one friend, you are doing good in life. You're doing so good in life. So if you have two or three, oh my God, it's exceptional. It's exceptional. Without jealousy, they always want to see you do well. That is beautiful, a beautiful thing for you. So have a support system. These are the things you need to look for. These are criteria to having good friendships, or a list of knowing how not to incorporate people who don't align with these things. So number seven is quality over quantity. I remember I have a friend, and I'm not one who holds like my friendships like you can't have another friend. I'm your only friend. No, people are allowed to do what they want to do. So this friend comes to me and said, I don't understand what happens. I keep meeting friends and she was always constantly meeting new friends, but she was like collecting them. And it wasn't a vetting process. And she said, well, you always have a lot of friends. And I said, it took time to build these friendships. It wasn't overnight. I have been living in this city for quite some time now. So for me to have developed the friendships and the connections that I have, it took time. And believe me, I was vetting these people out just like they were vetting me out. And she was so surprised of the kind of caliber of friendships that I have. That's because it's called vetting. You have to vet people out. Just because you seem cool and you seem like you're vibing, there may be a slight connection instantly. You might hit it off instantly, and that does happen. But even then, you still have to vet people out because you don't really know what people are coming with. As far as their mindset, their outlook on life, their values, and all the things that I listed 1 through 6, you got to still vet people out. You want to have quality friendships. And I remember telling her that you need quality. You have too many people that you're running to tell your business. Why do they need to know your business? Why do they need to know your business with your husband, about your husband? Why do they need to know these things that are irrelevant to their lives, but somehow they seem to be front and centered audience of your life? And it's almost as like you need these people to validate something. You don't need anyone to validate anything about your life except for you and God, right? You don't need that. Every now and then maybe you need to hear a voice of reason around you and wisdom. You make sure that these people 1 through 7, these people have aligned with that so that you know for sure that you got a friend indeed. Having random friendships and trying to have a quantitative amount of friends. You have 50 friends. You cannot build friendship with 50 friends like intimately. You really can't. That sounds kind of crazy. You can, but you can know 50 people. I know 50 people. I know 100 people. I know 200 people. I know several people. I know a lot of people. However, the closeness that I have is never going to be there because those people will never be able to intimately know me. And that's the part where you want to qualify and get quality over quantity. You can know a lot of people and have them in your outer levels or your circles, and you know them and they're good people. But to bring them in the inner, it takes qualifying. It takes quality. You want to be quality friends. So, my friends, my dear, you have 7 steps, 7 ways of being able to get your circle straight. Get your circle straight, finding your tribe, and making sure that you consider everything that I just mentioned, that you deserve good friendships. Use the 7 steps that I just mentioned to qualify and get quality friendships. This is Deanna. This is with Inspired Perspectives. Like and follow the channel, and I will see you on the next video.